Leaving Cert Higher Level Logs Exam Question. Given log base A2 is equal to P and log base A3 is equal to Q, where A is greater than 0, write each of the following in terms of P and Q. Part 1. Log base A 8 over 3, and part 2. Log base A 9A squared over 16. So we have log base A 8 over 3. So the first thing we're going to do is use the second law of logs to make the divide become minus. So it breaks up into log base A8 minus log base A3. The order is important. We cannot have the 3 first. The 8 must come first because the 8 is the numerator. Next, we're going to rewrite 8 as 2 to the power of 3. Because in our question, we were told that log base A2 is equal to P and log base A3 is equal to Q. So we want to try and rewrite these numbers so that they are either 2 to the power of something or 3 to the power of something. So 8 becomes 2 to the power of 3. And 3 can just stay as it is. Next, we're going to use law 3 of logs. And we're going to bring the power, which is 3, down in front of the log. So log base A 2 to the power of 3 becomes 3 log base A2. And minus log base A3 just stays the same. Now you'll notice that we have log base A2 and log base A3, which is what was given to us in the question. So we can swap this log base A2 for P. So we get 3 times P, which is 3P. And we can swap this minus log base A3 for minus Q, because we were told that log base A3 is equal to Q in the question, so we get minus Q. So I end up with 3P minus Q. Part 2, log base A 9A squared over 16. So again, we're going to start by using the second law of logs so that the divide becomes minus. So we get log base A 9A squared minus log base A 16. Now again, like with the first part, we want to rewrite the 9 and the 16 as 2 to the power of something and 3 to the power of something. So the 9 can be rewritten as 3 squared. 3 by 3 is 9. And that's 3 squared multiplied by A squared. And the 16 can be rewritten as 2 to the power of 4. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 is 16. Next, we're going to take log base A 3 squared times A squared, and we're going to break it up into log base A 3 squared plus log base A squared. And that's because we are using law number 1 of logs. And the minus log A base A 2 to the power of 4 just stays the same. Next, we're going to take log base A 3 squared, and we're going to use law 3 this time. We're going to bring the squared down in front, so we get 2 log base A3. Again, we're going to use law 3 with the second term, so the squared comes down in front, and we get 2 log base AA. And again, with the final term, we will also use law 3, so we bring the 4 down in front, so we get minus 4 log base A2. Now we have a look back at our question, and remember we have log base A2 is equal to P, and log base A3 is equal to Q. So this log base A3 we swap for Q, so we get 2 times Q, which is just 2Q. Log base AA is just going to give us 1. That's law 4. So we get 2 times 1, which is 2. And log base A2 gives us P. So we get minus 4 times P, which is minus 4P. So we end up with 2Q plus 2 minus 4P.